Justice with Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law. You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Kelsey Hopkins is suing Candy Lelp in the amount of $490.50. Ms. Hopkins claims that Ms. Lelp sold her 3 mermaid bodysuits that were unsafe, and one almost caused her daughter to drown. Ms. Lelp claims her store has a no-return policy that is very strict, and it's posted on the store counter.
In the matter of Kelsey Hopkins versus Candy Lelp, I understand you're suing for the refund of your 3 bathing suits that you bought called mermaid bathing suits?
Swimtail.
Swim bathing suits.
Yes.
All right. And you want the defendant to take them back? And
Yes.
she said no.
Yeah, she denied my refund, which I think that I deserve. It's for a total of $490.50. Each swimsuit was $162.75 each.
Why did you want to take them back?
Just before I get started, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of yours. I was actually pregnant with my first daughter, and I used to watch your shows. And unfortunately, I wish we met under different circumstances. But my daughter, she is 8 now. She was 7 at the time. It was going to be her birthday, and she's a huge mermaid fan. She loves mermaids. She was dying to get like a mermaid bodysuit. She showed me on the internet what it was, and so I went down to her store, which is a bit of a drive, and I purchased 3 swimsuits. I purchased 2 for her, and I have a younger daughter. She's 6, and she really wanted one too, so I got her one as well. And both of my daughters have been in swim lessons since they were younger, so I purchased them thinking that they would be okay.
So when you put on the swimsuit, does it come out like a mermaid dress or a mermaid outfit?
Yeah, from the waist down.
From the waist down, so
Yes.
then both feet are in there.
Yeah, they get hooked, strapped in with a thing called a monofin, and I think when I went to go purchase them, you can't try them on. There was no fitting rooms in her store, so I had to purchase them with what it said on the chart, and it said about her weight, her height, her age, and things like that, and her shoe size. So I went with what the chart gave me and what her measurements were, and I purchased it based on that.
Then what became the problem?
Well, when I got home that evening, my youngest, she fell asleep, so I took her upstairs. I put her to bed, and my oldest daughter, she was really fast. She already wanted to try it on. She was really excited, so she jumped in the pool, and I heard her screaming, so I ran downstairs, and I ran to the backyard, and she was barely struggling. I had to jump in, and I saved her, and I had to drag her out of the pool.
You let your daughter go to the pool by herself, 8 years old?
Well, usually she needs to wait for me to be out there, but she was excited to try it on, and she put it on.
Just because she's excited, she can't be so excited she forget the rules?
Yeah.
Come on now, Mama. How long was she there when you heard her screaming?
Barely like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
And so and you say she's a good swimmer?
She's a really good swimmer, yes.
So what was the problem?
I think that these suits are unsafe. They strapped her feet in. It was the wrong size.
Well, they were strapped in from the beginning, right?
Yes, but it was the wrong size, and it just was pulling her to the bottom of the pool, and it's just unsafe, and I feel like I deserve my refund back.
Ms. Lelp, let me hear your side.
Okay, first of all, I've been in business for almost 5 years. I own a small swimsuit business downtown. So I brought this product in, and it was an instant hit. It sold out immediately. So I brought more in.
Did anyone bring me this swimsuit so I can see what it looks like?
Yes, I have a picture.
Oh, a picture. That doesn't tell me anything.
And I have
Well, it tells me something, but it doesn't tell me what I really need to know.
also have the receipt, and
Did you take a picture of your daughter in it?
no.
Okay, because I mean, that is the best evidence. Because you're saying it didn't fit, it was too little or something, it pulled her down.
Yeah.
And it's a mer swimsuit by the way you describe it. If I'm thinking mermaid, my recollection of mermaids, and maybe I'm wrong, is the little cartoons and the pictures I see,
Correct.
Both feet are always together.
It's a one piece,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to fit very snug from the waist all the way down.
Right.
Okay.
But
so,
it doesn't have an opening so the feet are separated, right?
No, everything you go in feet first.
Right.
Okay. Feet is attached at the bottom, like she said, a mono fin at the bottom, and you pull it up, and it's like a second skin. It's supposed to fit really snug.
And so did you know that was the fit?
Yes, I realized that, but
So you didn't get in the pool with her to practice swimming in something different, because usually you don't swim with both your feet together. I mean, you're trying to swim like fish.
yeah, but she knows all different types of swimming methods. I mean, she knows the backstroke.
But she doesn't know swimming methods in that type of suit.
Yes, but it's made for young girls, so I figured it was safe. If they're selling
Okay,
it,
you figured that.
yes.
But you didn't know.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I believe it's the suit that was unsafe and prevented her.
That's
from-
your belief. Where's your
Yes.
proof?
And later,
I redesigned his website for a free month of his classes.
So that's not free. It's a barter.
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Kelsey Hopkins, who is suing Candy Lelp for $490.50.
What kind of signs did you have in your store about purchase of these types
I
of
brought
swimwear?
I brought a copy of the sign that the law says that I have to have in my store.
Okay, here's a picture of it. See? Cute little suit. But her feet are inside, right?
Yes.
So, which means that you can't swim in the manner that you normally swim.
That's
You have
correct.
to get used to swimming and moving your body in a different manner, where you're really going to use more of the upper body than the feet. And I'm not a swimmer, and I know that.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand that, but she was able to do that without the suit. I believe it's the suit that was unsafe and prevented her.
That's
from-
your belief. Where's your
Yes.
proof?
Her
Where's your
almost
proof
drowning.
that the suit was unsafe?
Her almost drowning.
Well,
in
if
my-
you
That
had
doesn't
been
mean the
there with
suit
her,
she
she
was
wouldn't
unsafe
almost
because
drown.
you almost drowned.
I think it does.
No, I think what was unsafe was mother's mothering.
Amen.
What about that?
Amen.
So rather than blame Miss Lelp here, you got to blame little daughter and yourself.
I do blame her for not listening to me.
All right.
But also the other two swimsuits.
Okay, what does it say? All swimsuits are final sale.
Yes, but that sign, if I gave you evidence that sign is barely visible.
Okay, what about on the receipt?
It wasn't on the receipt.
What do you mean barely visible? If it was barely visible, how you know it was there?
I didn't know it was there until I went to go return it the next day, and she showed me a small sign that.
How many times have you bought swimsuits?
Multiple times.
What swimsuit company or what swimsuit store do you know returns swimsuits once they leave?
None.
It is.
None.
They
I'm
exchange.
asking her a question. What swimsuit store returns swimsuits after you have tried them on?
They can at least
and worn
exchange
them?
or get store credit. But this isn't
No.
a normal swimsuit. She wears a swimsuit under it.
It's
It doesn't touch anything.
unsanitary to return swimsuits.
That's right.
The suit that your oldest daughter wore is not going to be refunded. All right? I am going to refund those suits that the other two suits that you purchased simply because there's been no harm to you, no harm lost by refunding the suits. And this is not your fault in terms of whether the suit is too little or didn't fit properly. It's really a product's liability issue. She sells, she doesn't make, she doesn't manufacture, she doesn't guarantee sizes, she doesn't guarantee that it's appropriate, she doesn't guarantee anything with relating to the suit. She simply sells the product.
I feel like if she's
If
selling
you don't
it,
shut your mouth, because I'm tired of your feeling, I want you to learn the law. It doesn't operate on how Miss Hopkins feels. You want to keep talking?
no, but I was a fan of yours.
Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
The Mer swimwear that you sold me was unsafe. You know I deserve my money back.
And you need to learn to be a more responsible parent with your children.
Coming up,
I redesigned his website for a free month of his classes.
So that's not free. It's a barter.
Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Will Faustine is suing his former acting coach, Sean Bledsoe, in the amount of $480. Mr. Faustine claims he worked extra hours because Mr. Bledsoe told him that if he did, it would guarantee him a part in the defendant's movie. Mr. Bledsoe claims he only promised him an audition with the director and to coach him for free.
In the matter of Will Faustine versus Sean Bledsoe, Mr. Faustine, I understand you're suing him, your former acting coach, because you think he had you working for him under false pretenses and now didn't pay you all that you were owed as an employee.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
And I know you're saying something totally different, that he just didn't understand the name of the game. Tell me about it.
Yes, well, I'll tell you the beginning story really briefly. I met him actually through another friend that I know that is a working actor. I'm an actor that's trying to brush up on his skills and everything like that. And
you're what we call a struggling actor.
I wouldn't say that, Your Honor.
Oh, you're not struggling?
No, I'm not struggling.
Okay.
Not as far as my craft.
All right.
But I am brushing up.
You're honing your craft.
I'm honing my craft as
All right.
everyone is. But anyway, I met him through another friend, and he told me he had did some good acting classes. So I checked him out, and I signed up, and I started to take acting courses. This was like about a year ago. So anyway, we go on further in the year, and that's where the issues became. But I had heard him over talking to some other students that he had needed some work with his website. And so that's what I do by freelance. I actually do website designs and things like that. So
okay.
I actually was happy to, maybe offer him my services. And so when I began to tell him about it, he was excited. He was like, yeah, okay, let's see what you can do. I have this, I have to get the website redesigned. And so we spoke about redesigning the website and everything like that.
So I'm going to move this along. So you designed the website for him. What else you do?
Yes, I designed the website for him, and he actually loved it.
Okay.
He loved everything about it, and that went well.
This was all done free?
We had a barter.
What was the barter?
The barter was that I redesigned his website for a free month of his classes.
So that's not free. It's a barter.
I did that, and then after that, a couple weeks later, he asked for another situation for me to work out with him. And that was, I have some of the evidence here, and that was for a poster, a movie poster.
All right.
So I designed the poster for him. The exchange for that was
$150 off, Your Honor, the following month.
For one of his classes.
$150 off
for the month of classes, yeah.
Okay.
And I pay out. Well, no, my prices are $40 an hour.
Okay.
And he didn't charge me that.
What was the agreement? What was the agreement? Design the poster in exchange for
$150 off.
Not for $40 an hour.
Coming up.
He also promised you a future role in a movie, and that didn't happen.
And it did not.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Will Faustine, who is suing his former acting coach, Sean Bledsoe, for $480.
All right, now.
Yes.
Next one.
He took to that, but I went, actually, that took 10 hours. It took longer than expected. I went 10 hours over.
Longer than who expected?
Well, I had told him it would take me roughly about like 4 hours to do that poster, and it actually took me 10 hours because he was, we had went back and forth through email, and he was a little not pleased.
Did you have an hourly rate agreement?
No, I don't.
You had a design a poster agreement?
Yes.
Right?
And then he also began to talk about like a future role.
What did he say?
He had promised me a future role.
What did he say?
In a movie that he was producing, he had a role that would be, be fitting to me.
And what did you have to do in order to get that future role?
These were the things that I had to do.
Oh, so in addition to the money off on the classes, he also promised you a future role in a movie, and that didn't happen.
And it did not.
So now you want him to pay you the value of your services for the design, the web design, and the poster design.
Not only that,
Uh-oh, something else. Come
Your
on.
Honor, one more thing. After that, he's started to talk about postcards.
All right.
So he asked me to create them.
Create
them for, I
postcards.
believe, the same movie that they were working on, that he was producing. He had wanted me to create postcards for it.
And he offered you a role in the movie?
Yes.
In the future that he was producing?
Yes.
So did you create the postcards?
Yes, I did.
You didn't get this future movie role?
At the end, no, I did not get the movie role that he had promised me and sold to me. He basically led me on to this big story of, oh, there's a role for you, and I have it, and, you know, you're perfect for it. He even sent me an email I have here.
Let me see.
Giving me details.
So how did we get to this 480?
I got to the 480 because that's the total hours that I work outside of the hours that I of the agreement.
Mr. Bledsoe, did you enter into an agreement to give that he would give you any maximum or minimum number of hours for these projects?
No, Your Honor. Will had given me an idea of what it would take him to complete the task, but, you know, and it sounded reasonable, and I imagined that he would know that there would be some going back and forth before we had the actual final product. I thought that was understood from the beginning, and he said it would take about 4 hours. If it took longer, I maybe wish he would have told me.
Tell me your understanding, Mr. Bledsoe, about this role or this part that he says you promised him.
Well, I really never promised him a role. I had told him that I thought that he would be good for a role that I was working on. I've produced some low-budget horror films in Arizona at a ranch. And
That's right.
At the time, was about a month ago, Will and I were discussing the postcards that he was going to do to me. It clicked to me that Will really would be a great fit for Mr. Kipper, who was a key role in our upcoming feature film.
So what happened to this feature film?
Well, unfortunately, a month ago, just after I spoke with him, we had a fire at the ranch where the filming was taking place, and we had the whole...
of course.
It was a disaster. It was a mess, Your Honor. And consequently, a number of the characters in the role in the film got changed. And Mr. Kipper became a female.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
Mr. Faustine, you have a problem.
Exactly.
When you are bartering and someone says, design me a website in exchange for a class, you know the value of your website, your design. You know the approximate hours it will take. So it's up to you to be specific and say, fine. You know the class was only worth $250. You know that if you took 4 hours, you would be getting a bargain, right?
Yes.
But if you took 10 hours, you wouldn't get a bargain. It's because you didn't understand the barter.
No, I understood the barter.
Okay. Well, judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
You took advantage of me and you got more out of the deal, and you know it.
Will, this is Hollywood. I really wish you had stuck it out. I think we would have had something in the future for you.
This has been a production of